Ladies and gentlemen, we got new information about Arknights' next standard banner. After Bagpipe and Chen, it's time for Suzuran and Eunectes to get their rate up. Our light and robot enthusiast, so let's see more about this standard banner. First, the 6-star, we have Suzuran. Suzuran is a 6-star Desel Binder supporter that has the ability to increase other supporter SP recovery and inflicting fragile effect to all enemies in her range that are slowed. Very useful to stall an enemy while also dealing extra damage to them. Suzuran skill 1 is a basic slowing skill with attack and attack speed boost, while her skill 2 is an infinite skill that allow her to slow 3 enemies simultaneously. But the most interesting skill that Suzuran has is her skill 3. It will expand her range and slows all enemies in range, and increase her second talent value, making Suzuran a top tier debuffer. Not only she stall and make enemies weaker, but also heals allied unit within range with a recovery heal. But with all that said, I recommend you to only get Suzuran when your damager unit already built, to utilize her stalling and fragile effect. As for the other 6-star and the shop operator, we have Duelist Defender Eunectes. Eunectes is less of a defender, more like a dreadnought guard with higher stats and DP cost. Her trait that won't allow her to gain SP from any kind of source is a problem. But luckily, her upcoming module will fix her archetype main problem. That will allow her to gain SP without blocking like most operators, and opening up the possibility for her to gain SP from other source while not blocking. Her talent 1 will give her a different buff depending on her HP, and her talent 2 will help boost her SP recovery even more. Eunectes has an interesting skill 2 that allow her to stun all blocked enemy for the remaining of her skill duration. And her S3 will increase her attack and defense massively, increase block count and give her an HP regeneration. It will make her into a more solid defender unit. But it got a pretty high SP cost considering she can't recover her SP without blocking. I think Eunectes can be difficult for newer players to use, and overall not a very must-have unit in general stages, to make things significantly easier. But perhaps a more veteran player can utilize her ability in some advanced stages. Moving to the 5 stars. The shop operator is Glaucus. Like Suzuran, she is also a Desel Binder supporter that specialized in dealing with drones, and can nuke multiple enemies with EMP to bind or stun them. As for the other 5-star, we have Sora, a bard supporter that can heal all operators within her range, and inflict sleep debuff to enemies, and increase operators' attack. Last one is Aosta, a spread shooter sniper that can inflict arts damage to unblocked enemies. Also double the arts damage and bind enemies with his skill 2. So, should you pull in this standard banner? Well, probably no. Suzuran is a great debuffer, but you need her if only your DPS unit are already built. Eunectes isn't an operator that really make clearing stages significantly easier, mostly because of her trade drawback, and she is quite replaceable. And all of the 5 stars aren't priority unit to get. But Glaucus and Sora crowd control might be an interesting ability for you to use. Well, for now, if Chen and Bagpipe standard banner is still available, I suggest you gacha there instead, if you still don't have both of them. Or wait for upcoming new banner featuring Horn. That should be all. Adios.